This week on Better Health for Busy Professionals, it's all about the art of getting back on the horse. We know that good health is a game of consistent, healthy action performed over a long period of time. But we live in a world where we're juggling multiple priorities. Things are really busy. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things that come across our path that just knock us off track. You've probably been knocked off track multiple times already during this coaching program. That's okay. That's really normal. We just need to accept that we're going to get knocked off course at some point or another. But we also need to build the skill set of how to get back going again quickly so that that knock off course doesn't become something permanent and stop our healthy action. Now, the hard bit about getting going again isn't usually the thing that's knocked us off course. It's usually our response to it. And so what happens is we get knocked off course and we don't do what we set out to do. And what that does is that triggers an emotional response in us. And that emotional response is based off our previous experiences, uh, our internal narratives, what's going on for us in the world at the moment, our value systems, our beliefs. So everyone has a different emotional response to being knocked off course. What becomes problematic is when we get wrapped up in that emotional response, which stops us then from taking any further action. We could do the good old Kiwi thing of try and repress those emotions and push them down, which isn't always the most healthy way to do it. We could run away from them and just ignore them completely. Again, not the most healthy way to do it. This week, we're going to talk through a tool about how to process that emotional response so that we can get back on track and get back taking health action quite quickly. And we're going to use a framework called GIVE. So it's basically giving ourselves some self compassion. So it's a 4-step process. The first step is G, get that you're having an emotional response. So actually being able to create some distance, having a look at what is happening for us when we get knocked off course, when we are experiencing those uncomfortable feelings that are stopping us taking action. We're going to look at identifying the emotion, and this is actually going to expand our emotional literacy and our emotional capacity. Because once we can identify that emotion, we can process it more easily. The V stands for validate. We're humans, we have emotions. That is really normal. The fact that our emotions are different from someone else's emotions is also really normal as well. Because we come from different backgrounds, we've got to this point in time different ways. So we're going to respond differently. So we're going to validate that that is a normal response for us. And then the E stands for explore. So we're going to explore these emotions that get triggered in us in a little bit more depth. We're going to look at the behavioral actions that they cause. We're going to look at some of the precursors to those emotions. And we're going to figure out, is there a way that perhaps we could avoid this emotional response in the future? Or is there a way that perhaps we could respond to it more helpfully than we previously have done? I'm going to figure out ways that we can train ourselves to do that a little bit more effectively than we're doing it at the moment. So I'm looking forward to doing this work with you this week. Watch out for those uncomfortable feelings that you're experiencing so that we can then talk about them in the session this week. See you soon.